Hello, this demo is going to show you how to hollow out your mask. So first you're going to want to wait until your mask is finished and leather hard. So I carved this yesterday and today it's leather hard. So it's wet enough that I can still carve into it. So if I scratch it, I'm still getting a little bit of clay off. But it's not too wet where it's not holding its shape. So you can see if I wiggle the nose, nothing's moving or coming off. It's right at the right stage of leather hard. So once it's leather hard, you are ready to start hollowing it out. So we're hollowing it out because we need to make sure that it's about 1/2 inch thick. That's about the width of your pinky, around there, so that it won't explode in the kiln. Also, you've used a bunch of clay pieces, right, to sculpt this. It's not just one big piece of clay. You've used multiple pieces put together to sculpt the face, and that kind of allows for air pockets to get in there. So by hollowing it out, we're going to make sure it's not too thick, and we're also going to get rid of some of the air pockets that we've created while sculpting the mask. So like I said, this part's really delicate here, so I'm going to have to be careful while carving this, and that goes for everyone. All of our masks are probably going to have components to it that are delicate, so this is just something where you have to be really soft and gentle as you carve. So at school, we have a nice big pad like this, and this is really helpful when hollowing things out because I can put the face down in this, and then I have the back part open to me and I can start carving it. At home, you might not have something like this. If you do, that's great. But if not, you don't need it. It just makes life a little easier. So I'll hold it up and I won't put it on there to show you how to carve it. Let me also show you some tools. So these are some tools from home, right? Butter knife. This has a bottom side that I can use. I can use the blade part. At school, normally we'd use a tool like this to hollow out. So you can see there are ribbons at the end and they're perfect for carving it out. So I'll show you a little bit with both so you can get an idea. I'm also gonna use Miss Cavassa's school ID to help smooth out edges at the end, just to perfect it and make it look how I want it to look. So those are the tools that you're gonna need for this. And now we can get started. So I've got to be really careful with this. It's scary. Okay. All right. Here is the back side. You can see I took out some of the form already, but this is what I had left. It's leather hard, so it's holding its shape now. Oops, some tape. So taking all this out. All right, and we have the back part. So you can see it's pretty thick, but not too bad. I won't have to do a ton of carving, but you can see from the side, there's nose, a lip, eyelids, the forehead protrudes here. So I'm gonna have to make sure to carve where the nose is, where the lips go, and get all of that clay out. Not all of it, but enough that it's about 1/2 inch thick, so about your pinky. So something to remember while doing this is most people tend to break through and break a hole in it here where the eyes protrude in, or not go, they go into the face there, they set in the face. So this is an easy place to puncture through. Around here at the nose, because it also lays in the face, goes in there, that's an easy place, and then also around the lips. So that's where people typically, oops, a little piece fell off. I'll just have to score that one later. Okay, so, and also my chin right now, like it's getting a little bit messed up, but little things like this might happen, and I'm just gonna have to fix them afterwards and clean it up a little bit. So now that we've gotten to hear some easy mistakes, we can start carving out. So I'm gonna hold this kind of sideways like this so you can all see. And I'm going to start carving. So I know, and I wanna keep looking from the front to the back. So I'll start here on the side. I know that the cheek, it's fat right there. So it's like this thick, way too thick, right? So I'm gonna go in and start carving out right there. So this is a tool from school. And I'm just carving all the pieces out. And you want to keep checking as you go. Try not to get too carried away because it's easy to puncture through. So keep checking as you go. If you can find a tool other than a butter knife, I saw another sculptor was using a popsicle stick and a knife, and it worked just fine for them. Any other tools, those are the only two I could really think of as knives. Maybe a spoon if it's like kind of a sharp spoon, or anything that you can find at home that looks like this a little bit. A wire, I think you could even make it yourself if you just take a wire and bend it. That's what these are, is just bent wires, so it's an idea. Yeah, so if I'm using a butter knife, it works just fine. And I'm just gonna be carving it all out. So let's say that your mask is really thick all around. So you can see mine's not too bad. You might want to draw, like take a knife and draw out where it is you're gonna cut. So you know like the ends will be even and smooth and 1/2 inch most importantly. So let's say yours was super thick. You could do something like that so you can see where you're gonna hollow out. And I might even do that for mine, even though I don't have to. It just helps me make nice clean lines. Okay, so I'm getting kind of deep here. So I'm gonna check, kind of touching the back with my thumb, the front with my pointer finger. It's about that thick. That's what I do personally to figure out how thick it is. So that's enough for me to hollow out there. Here, it's still pretty fat. That's about how fat it is. So I'm gonna go in there, hollow that out a little more. Yeah, that's feeling a lot better. Okay, so this cheek, this side part now, pretty good. It's all hollowed out in there. Now let's move on to the nose. For me, this is the scary part. So we're just gonna go in. I know that's about where the nose is. I'm looking front and back. I'm kind of using my left hand to feel here so I can reference it. It's a lot of feel and looking back and forth and just making sure that you're not going too deep. And you know, if you do puncture it a little bit, it's leather hard, so it's not the end of the world. You can go in and mend it. So I created a little canyon here. But as you can see, so the top of the nose is thinner, right? It gets fatter and fatter. So I'm gonna stop at the top here. I think that's about deep enough. And I'll continue in the shape of the nose down here. So I think that part's a lot thicker. And I kind of use like a circular motion sometimes. It like helps you get out more. Like I'll do like that. So if you need to do like a small area. Okay. It looks like here, you can't see it super well. But see how there's a little hole there? So I hit where an air pocket is. So that's the stuff we're trying to, this helps hollowing it out. It's getting rid of that air pocket. So letting that air out. And I'll just continue this for the rest of my mask all the way around. The bottom here, I don't like how rough that looks. So I'll go around there just to clean it up too. Kind of smooth it out. I can cut this part off because I want it to be smoother. This part I can cut off. Oops, I popped this off a little bit. But I'll go back in since it's leather hard, score, slip, wiggle, weld, and I'll be able to put that back on. Yeah, this was a difficult design that I chose, but some of you will have difficult designs too, so it's good to see what hollowing out something delicate looks like. Okay, so that's hollowing out. Now, quickly, I'll show you about making holes. So you want to hang this on the wall. So you can see I put those 2 holes there. At the back, they didn't completely come through. You can see them a little bit. So I'm gonna go in and open them up. I kind of just go in a circle motion, and the holes are good. So that way, after it's fired, you can use some string or something and take this and hang it up on the wall. So that's the beginning of hollowing out my mask.